Stampers, this is Marie Bennett at blackberriesandcream.net. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you how I made this cute Halloween I do not know what to call it, but anyway, baker's boxes and tote. So here we go. This project is really two projects in one. And the first part of the project is putting together these baker's boxes. And we cut these pieces out using the baker's box Thinlit. It looks like this. You need two of these to make one box, and each piece you will cut out of a 6 by 6 inch piece of paper. So with one sheet of designer series paper that is 12 by 12, you can make two baker's boxes. To cut this out, you're going to carefully line it up on your piece of designer series paper. And I've already cut this to 6 by 6. And you can see that this piece of paper has a pattern to it. The faces I want going up to the top of the box. So I need to make sure that the little handle that's at the top of the baker's box is at the upside of the paper. So I'm going to stick this in my Big Shot. When I make these, I use my magnetic platform, and then a well-used sheet of acrylic goes on top of the platform, and then I put the paper and the die on top of that first layer of acrylic. This fits in there on this 6 by 6 really tightly. There's almost no room for error. So I'm very careful before I start. Okay, then you put the top layer on, crank it through your Big Shot. Okay. And then when you pull it off, you have a little tiny bit of waste, but not much. And half of your box is cut. I don't know if you'll be able to see the score lines on here or not, but in addition to being cut, it is also scored. And you use those score lines to help you fold this box. I've already cut the other half, so let's just go ahead and get it put together. So the first thing I'm going to do is fold on the score lines. And there it is. Because this is a box and you want the edges crisp, I use my bone folder for this. And some of the score lines are kind of hard to see. So you just need to be careful. It's not a project that you can just daydream through. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. Alright, so that's the basic lines. Now there's a line right here for the tab. This is the handle. And then on this part there's a notch. To fold this, I just squeeze it like that until it comes together, and then press that. And then there's another notch right here. And over here there's another score line that I fold down like that. Alright, so all of the scoring is done. Next step is to put on the adhesive. So I'm using tear and tape. And it goes on these two little tabs. This is a tab and this is a tab. That's where the two halves of the box adhere to each other. I don't skimp on tape when I'm making boxes. Okay, then on this little notch that I folded down at the bottom of the box, I put a little tape on there too. And then, just because I like things to really stick together, I flip it over and put a little, just a small piece of tape right here and a small piece over here, and you'll see why in a minute. Alright, I've already folded the other half, so now I'm ready to stick my box together. So I'm going to peel off the tape that's on this side tab. Oops. Not peeling off the tape, I'm peeling off the backing of the tape. Now to stick these two together, you have to line up the fold. So here's a fold and here's a fold, and there's a notch right at the fold. So I'm going to line up the folds at the, I start at the center and then make sure the edges are straight. Stick that together. Now I take off the adhesive on the other side tabs, the backing of the adhesive. Lay my box down like that and then fold this edge over, and it lines up perfectly with that strip of adhesive. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is on the bottom of the box, there's a tear and tape you put there, and on the other side, take that off. Now these fold under like this. So fold the tab under and then just ease the box together. So this is going to be on top, this is going to go under. This is going to be on top, and this is going to go under. And you can see these bottom edges line up at an angle. And then on the inside, I'm just going to fold those tabs flat so they stick, and then press it down. Now that extra little bit of adhesive I put on, I want to pull the backing off and stick it down, and now that holds my bottom flaps together better. It probably would stick or stay fine just the way it was, but I like to do it that way. Okay, so the basic box is done. Now the tag that goes on the box I made using this Sweet Hauntings stamp set, and I chose A Treat Worth Dying For, and I stamped it in rich raspberry ink, and you can see that it makes this little tombstone shape, and we have a punch, Stampin' Up! Has a punch called the label punch or something like that, and it works perfectly with this stamp set. So I punch out the tag, and then I have a little piece of sequin trim in Blushing Bride. And, oops, I didn't tie my bow, sorry. So I'm using this smoky slate thick baker's twine to make a little bow. Okay, then I trim that off. Adjust the loops of the bow so I think it looks pretty. Alright, so I layer on the Blushing Bride sequins, which I think looks really cute with that rich raspberry ink, and then the smoky slate bow, and that is going to go on the outside of the handle. And I'm going to use my mini handheld stapler and just staple through all those layers. Now that tag will stay put, but as you can see, the box is not going to stay closed. So I'm going to take a clothespin, one of the little mini clothespins, and cover it with the rich raspberry washi tape that's in the Happy Hauntings washi tape assortment. in the holiday catalog, and I'm going to stick it to one of the mini clothespins. Now, this clothespin, as you can see, is designed so that the metal, there's a metal bar on one side of the pin and another metal bar on the opposite side of the pin. So I want to line up the edges of my washi tape on the side of the pin that has the metal bar, because the washi tape is bigger than the clothespin, and I'm going to want to trim it away. Okay, so I'll just put that on there so it lines up nice on that edge that has the metal bar. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, just pull that off. Now I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to trim away the excess washi tape. And you see why I lined it up even with the edge that has the bar? That's so that I can trim right next to the pin on the opposite side and not have to cut around that metal bar. Okay, so my clothespin is done. And then I'm just going to clip it on there. Then when I'm ready to put a treat in the box is not already sealed shut. All I have to do is take this off, fill it up, and then close it up with the pin again. So that's part one of this project, making the 4 baker's boxes. Okay, part 2 of the project is making the tote the boxes go in. And this is made using 2 pieces of 12 by 12 basic black cardstock. And I have cut that basic black cardstock to 9.5 inches by 10 1/4 inches. And now I'm going to score it. So I score along the long edge at 2 inches. Then I turn it once and score at 2 inches. Now this is going to be the front edge of the box, so I need to make the bottom of the box. So now I'm going to score at 4 3/8 inches. And then turn it one more time and score at 2 inches. And that's the basic foundation of our crate. Now, to do the folding for the crate, we have to first cut some tabs. So on this first score line, you're going to cut to where the score lines intersect and stop, and then make a notch on the side that goes to the long end. Okay, then cut on the next score line to the same spot and make another notch. Turn it around and do the same thing on this side. Okay. Now the box is ready to fold. So, or the crate. So we're going to get our bone folder again, and remember that the grooved edge is the outside edge of the box. So you turn it over, press along the score line again. Alright, so all of the score lines now have been folded. The next thing we're going to do is get out our tearing tape, and if you look at the way a box is made, this box is, the front of the box is going to be right here, so we want this edge to be rounded over. This is going to be the outside edge. Then this edge is going to adhere to the inside like that. So we need to put the tape here. So turn it so that that the folded edges are pointing down to the table. And we're going to tape the middle part first. And do the other side. Alright, so then we're going to turn it over, and because this is going to fold like this, we need the tape to be on this side. This piece of tape just pulled off, so I'm just going to stick it there. No sense wasting tape. If tape sticks to your finger and pulls off, sometimes it does, I just take that little piece and stick it on somewhere. Use the adhesive. And same thing on the other end. Alright, so now the boxes, or this half of the crate is ready to stick together. I'm going to pull off the backing on the center section. Maybe. There we go. Alright, and then fold it so that this straight edge right here, which does not have a notch, lines up with this score line, and then stick it together. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, it goes even with the score line. Fold it in. There you go. Then remove the backing on these two flaps. And line this bottom edge, which is not notched, up flat with the bottom of the box, like that. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm afraid this video is going to take a little longer, but I wanted you to see the whole process. Okay, so now the basic foundation is done, and the next thing we need to do is, using your sharp scissors, right here where this tab is, we're just going to cut back to that score line, straight back as you can cut, on both sides. Okay. Alright. Alright, now I want my crate to have a handle. So I've used a piece of scrap cardstock and created a template that I'm going to use for the placement of my handle. So I'm just going to line it up, and then using my oval punch, which is hiding, there it is. It's the large oval, or extra large oval, whatever, the biggest one you can get from Stampin' Up. I'm going to punch this oval out. And I'm trying to line the edge of the punch up with the score line. Okay. There, and now this flap is going to fold around to the back. Whoops, got one more step. I'm just going to cut a notch out of there, because otherwise it shows, you know, it sticks out into the oval. So we don't need it, it's going to be hidden. We're just going to cut this off. Okay. Alright, next thing is to find my tape. And I'm going to tape these down. So I just put a little bit of tear and tape right here. I want it to stick pretty good. So I'm going to put another piece right here. And maybe a little, just a little dab right there. And do the same thing on this flap over here. No sense wasting tape. I'm just going to stick it on there someplace. Alright, so now my flaps are ready to stick down. Peel the backing off. Come on. Fold it like that. Alright, I've already made the other half, so as you can see, that's what the crate is going to look like. The last step, of course, is to put adhesive on these so that they will stick together really well, because you don't want it falling apart. So the full length of all the edges will be taped. Oops. And I'm just going to put this piece right here. Alright, and then I like to have a strip that goes all the way along there. Helps keep that handle together. And then more over here. And just make sure it sticks together, that's all. Alright, that's probably plenty. That's probably overkill, but I like things to stay put. Alright, so I'm going to peel the backing off of all these strips. And now I'm going to stick the two pieces together. Now this is the tricky part. You have to make sure you get things really lined up before you let them touch. I'll probably mess it up. There's that corner. There's that corner. Oh, I think I did good. Alright. It is done. Almost. Alright, the box itself could use some perking up, and so you can decorate this any way you want. What I've done is made some little tags just like I made on the boxes, only these say Happy Happy Halloween. And I'm just going to put one on each side. And I'm going to do that using glue dots. I think I'll use 3. I probably should put one on each corner, but okay. Then one for the other side. I think I will do one on each corner here. Come on, you. My sequin stuck to my glue dot. Okay. Sorry, I was off camera there. Alright, and then you just stick your little boxes in there. And there you have a cute little hostess gift or centerpiece for a Halloween party or whatever you want to make out of it. I am going to go ahead and decorate the rest of the box, but you can do that to your own taste. Hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope you'll give it a try. It really is not as complicated as it might first appear. So, thanks for watching, and happy Halloween!